All right. This is part 7. Yeah, 7 of my queer story. Yeah. Anyways, we started talking again, or I don't know. I can't remember if we stopped talking or. But yeah, when we did start talking again, I was thinking of cutting her off, and then like I kept seeing 7-7 when 777 when I thought about that. So I was supposed to, I guess. So I did. But I think we started talking again later in 2019. Yeah, like a little bit later. It didn't even. That wasn't a very long one. Some of our no contacts were like a couple years, and some of them were not, like a few months. So it was weird. So if people want to be like, yeah, some people might think, oh, that's when like only twin flames do. No, like karmics and stuff can be very like off and on separations and separation periods and shit. It's weird. So that's why you have to be very discerning. Yeah. But twin flames are not toxic. Anyways, I'm not talking about that this time. But when we started talking again, me and her, it was before I was even pregnant. But like her and her husband were living in Kansas City, and we'd go like I started talking to her, and she was like, her husband was like, I don't want her to get hurt. He didn't want her to get hurt again, So like he was nervous, but then he was like, okay. And the whole time he was fine with her and I being together, but she was nervous about that. Like she didn't want to disrespect him and everything, but like I could feel that, but I didn't want to disrespect either. Like he was a good guy, and um, yeah. And at the time, my husband at the time, which is my best friend now, was going through his gender questioning and stuff because he never really had a safe space to do that. And yeah, I think yeah. And then like I found out I was pregnant in October, no, November. I was trying to fucking ignore it. I was like, I know I am, but I don't want to acknowledge it. I don't want to be. So like when I had my miscarriage in December of 2019, she was there for me. She was actually, I'll give her that. Like she wasn't like toxic all the time. Like, it's the childhood trauma that it's the trauma, like whatever. But like there were times she was like really great. Like she was really there for me. She was at the time working at a clinic, like a OBGYN clinic. I think she was like the receptionist or something. And she was helping me through my miscarriage. She was like the only one that was helping me besides my best friend who would stay home from work and stuff like that sometimes. And it was scary. And then every time after my cycle, when I would have my cycle after that, I would be like really bad anxiety because I was like, am I going to be heavy bleeding? And I wasn't really that heavy with my miscarriage, but one time I went leaked outside my pad, and that scared me. And people's worry, that's why I didn't talk much about it to anybody, because like other people, like like the energy of worry can make it harder to heal. So I didn't talk much about it until after I was done healing. Like I was through the worst of it or whatever. Anyways, then we didn't date until later. Like we'd go visit. Like the first time I went ice skating was there, and we lived here in Hastings, and we would go visit her in Kansas City when she had just first moved to Kansas City. Yeah, because like I saw her, like the reason why we started talking again is because like I looked up her address to send her something. I felt like I needed to, and I sent her like a crystal, and I had put my energy in it, and just like I felt like, okay, this is what happened. Yeah, I remember now. I had this friend that lived in New Zealand, and she was like give me readings about it, and that she wanted to talk to me. And then like I wanted to send her something, that crystal, and that's how I reached out to her, is through the mail. See, and so that's why this twin flame journey is hard for me, because like you know, I would reach out to him. Get down. I would reach out to him, but I'm not supposed to. I'm supposed to wait because, like, for me, I'm like, they don't come back for me. I have to go chase them. You know, it's like so. It's like no. They will. If it's right, they will. They will always come back to you. You know, like I have to stay out of my masculine energy. Anyways, so it wasn't right. That's why, because like I would always be put in my masculine, and I'd have to go and be like, okay, break the no contact, you know, and reach out. So that's what I did, and her address was easy to find online, and I was like, I had to let her know. I was like, your address is easy, like she got my letter and she messaged me. That was when she was moving to Kansas City, but I was like, I don't know if you know this, but your address is really easy to find. Like, and she had to escape her ex. Like, it was bad, so that's why I'm like, you need to make sure that's not seen online. And then anyways, that's how we started talking again. I remembered. I had forgotten, and then, you know, it came back up anyways. But yeah, she was in Kansas City, and like I'd go visit, and me and my best friend would go visit, and I'd get salads at Whole Foods, and it's the first time I knew I could get them, because that was before I like went a little lax on my eating. I was like completely organic and non-GMO, no meat or anything, but wasn't vegan, you know. So like, but it was really hard to find stuff like that here. It still is, but I'm a little bit lax on it, where like I can eat certain things. Anyways, but it's a little bit easier this time. Anyways, and I was like 9 weeks pregnant, and I think it was November. I went to visit, and the first time I went ice skating, it was fun. I have pictures and videos of it. It was a lot of fun. My best friend was like, I can't do it. I'm gonna fall. So he just basically watched me for the most part. I want to go again, but that place was so beautiful. Yeah. Anyways, me and her were best friends for a long time, for a while until like middle of 2020 ish. And then like she came to visit me in Topeka when we moved back to Topeka for my husband at the time's mom and stuff. And then like I had another friend. Oh yeah, she came there when I had my roommate, I think, and she had to stay in the other room. Anyways, yeah. And then we were taking her back to Kansas City. Me and her were holding hands in the back, and it's like the spark came back. And so it was like, I think it was just like to close out the cycle. So like, then her husband was like, no, I'm okay with you guys. Like, I really am. Like, and so like, when they moved to a different place in Kansas City, because she couldn't afford where she was, so it was like income based, which is fine. We helped them move, but like, they didn't. Like, she was yelling at her husband the whole time, and he was, like, struggling, and I was worried he was gonna have, like, seizures and stuff, because, like, he was very, like, like, very epileptic, you know, and so, like, but she was yelling at him and everything. It was just bad. I think she had, like, some negative energy and entity or something from her abusive ex, because, like, he was fine until, like, a coworker of his, her ex, like touched him, and it was weird. That's all it takes. And like after that, he was like super abusive. So I think she has that same fucking entity or something. I don't know. It was weird because like she was never like that. Like never. No.